All right, it is currently 6:31 a.m. I want you to see the light source through the window of a building 18165 on the first floor. This is where, remember when I'm inside of my apartment and I'm capturing the impossible light acting lot while the light source is in perfect alignment with my living room. This morning, well beyond schedule, the entity is keeping the light source in alignment with the windows at Planet Fitness, and this is at the intersection of Washington and Central. And this is the same entity that engaged in breaking into my vehicle. That's a damage of personal property by an entity, and the light source follows to maintain perfect alignment with me, seeing it through the window of the apartment building 1816 that is not present while I'm looking at it, and the engineer light is all over Planet Fitness. That's the illusion of that's the sun and that sunlight. And I want you to see of the shape of the window on the opposite side of the park. This is the same exact specific environment that was maintained around me at the gym, and it's not the natural environment. And for the duration of the ride on the freeway, that's the entire population that is group stalking, where the entity just engaged in providing evidence against the same exact body of evidence against the people of the state, who are an entire entity engaging in surveillance as a state. This state wants to present itself to the world and lying. This is the reality of Satan. Satan lies to itself and to each other about what they are and what they're doing. And this is why we as a nation are presenting ourselves on an international scene as though we are free people, that we are in any position of leadership to follow, to mimic. And it could not be farther from the truth. It does not get any more pathetic than what I am exposing is actually going on in the United States amongst people who like I stated, the reality is how it's trickling down to affecting you in your life. You're following people online. You're friending them online. You're letting them influence you. And I want to be clear, this whole influence movement, this is based on Satan wanting you to follow him. That's what this is about. And at the end of the day, to keep you in a condition where you are asleep to the reality about what's going on in the world and about who it is that you are allowing to influence your psyche, influence your behavior, influence your mind state. These demons are so pathetic. They're stalking in a gym, okay? Stalking, group stalking, demonic pacing, including in the traffic, literally the schedule for Metro. The moment that they are crossing path, it's centered on what I'm doing as I'm using the leg press, walking from the treadmill to work on my abs. Everything about this society is focused on one person, while the demon-possessed population is group stalking. And you know that because of the impossible light activity that's all along the freeway, the light source that's in alignment with my window, while demons are pacing all around me on a freeway, in the gym, in the parking lot, on the streets, all the way back to the apartment where the fake sun is in no position through my living room window going to be seen through the bedroom window of building 18165. And by the way, the same windshields. I'm showing you this conduct through the windshields of these vehicles, the same parking lot at 7 o'clock in the evening, 6 o'clock in the evening. All right. And none of it is in conformity with what you could ever establish or contend is the natural environment, while it's remaining over me, rising and setting while I'm literally on one street, Hope Boulevard in Ontario, California. Or if I happen to go from Ontario to Fontana, or if I go from Ontario to Montclair and then back to Fontana, as I documented this population group stalking. That's what's so pathetic. So the entity keeps it here from beginning to the end of the day. And as soon as I go to do something else, that's how you have a P.O.C. That's how you have a sunrise and a sunset at one address. And then you're talking, that's the evidence of stalking with a fake sun, because you're stalking with a fake sun when I leave this address and the light source is suddenly visible through the windows of the Planet Fitness at Washington and Central. Then you are able to see how pathetic a demon-possessed population are, who should exercise no influence over you. You should not be friending them online. You should not be listening to their opinions about what they think about music and about what they eat and about what it is that they believe in you should not be listening to. You need to get your life in Christ Jesus, because I'm showing you how pathetic the demon-possessed are. And they're out here in LA. People move here to be like them, be around them. This is Satan. There's nothing impressive or elite about it whatsoever. And I mean, these demons sitting here on Section 8 on welfare, all the way up to whatever celebrity, I don't care who it is. There is nothing impressive about it. They are pathetic with regard to the reality of their existence and what they're actually consumed about and what they want you to think that they're consumed with. It is currently 6:35 a.m. You're looking at the impossible, the shape of the herring on the brick wall on the opposite side. All right. And the impossible while that light source is in over me in any position while I'm at Planet Fitness. Okay. That's speaking to, again, everybody at Alvarado Gardens is going to federal prison, because what's going on the roads and the highways, the people of the state are group stalking as a population, where that population wants to go to the extent to live You're providing 24/7. Everybody's going to federal prison. Every single last person is going to federal prison. The government will not enable, you will under no circumstances enable the government to provide that level of facilitation of aid to the state that's threatening the life and targeting and terrorizing American citizens. And because they live at the facilitating venue, they're going to federal prison for it. And like I stated, because the entity that engaged in assault and battery, they're going to federal prison for that. The entity that engages in all the harms that you suffer while the entity is keeping you under surveillance, including breaking into my vehicle. Everybody, I documented group stalking in the parking lot of Planet Fitness, where you're looking at the evidence of what is indeed group stalking. Then the group stalkers were documented in relevant position. The entity is acting as one. Everyone that I documented around in my vehicle, they're going to federal prison because it's the same entity. In other words, it's the same demons that are living in Alvarado Gardens. It's the same entity. They're engaged in demonic teamwork. Everywhere that the light sources, well, not the light source. Yes, the light source, but that's not what I wanted to specifically say. The light source, the conduct with the light source that you can know. This is the reality of the obsessive condition of the people of the state. The impossibility with regard to the this light source. This is the personification of the demon possession of the people who are actually obsessed that as their group stalking, and because they have the spirit of Satan on them, and the unnatural environment is the personification of that. So I want you to, when I laugh at this light activity, it's because it's so pathetic. This is the same apartment where I'm standing here at 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're looking at it through the window of the apartment building. But yet it's in alignment with me at Planet Fitness. That's how you know what this is. 6ZGA105, a demon that just drives onto the parking lot to engage in pacing, driving in and out. That's what they're doing when they're coming and delivering food. That's what they're doing when they're coming and delivering packages. That's what they're doing while the entity is stalking in a helicopter in sync at the same time. Would you go to federal prison for that? You're clearly nothing other than a demon-possessed group stalker under the fake sun, which I'm showing you through the window of building 1810 now. And I just showed it through the back window of building 1818. Understand the gymnastics that the entity is doing with that which is not even the sun. That's how you know what that is. Psychotic. Okay, that is what broke into my car. Everyone documented at Planet Fitness. I'm going to drain the pockets of Planet Fitness. It's a third party. This is the ability to prosecute a whole population, and the population acts through commercial means. And so you're talking about the best way to punish. So obviously you're going to the deepest pockets. Planet Fitness is the deepest pockets, but that entire plaza, which is, let me be clear, it's beyond the plaza. Everyone in the state is group stalking, but with regard to the harm I suffered at that location, you're talking about how you're going to punish and prosecute civilly and criminally. And everyone that I documented group stalking on that morning in January is going to federal prison for breaking into my vehicle while they are engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, which I documented today. It is currently 6:39 a.m. This is P.O.C. This is the sex offender that's keeping a fake sun in alignment to my apartment all day long. Okay, while you saw through the window of building 1816 right now on the first floor, while I'm in the back portion of the parking lot, and I'm in my apartment. I've already documented my presence inside of my apartment, getting up at 6:30 in the morning. 6:45 in the morning is the earliest. So now we've got even before 6:30, and the light source that's in alignment with my living room, and that's supposed to, remember, sunlight that's appearing on my living room walls. And now you have even earlier than that visible through the windows of Planet Fitness in perfect alignment, such that sunlight is aiming inside of the Planet Fitness. This is what I mean with regard to what is the illogical conduct of an obsessed stalker. It's not making sense, and there is no endeavor to make it make sense. Okay, it's plain stalking, and you are identifying it through the demonic environment, and it is also giving you particular insight regarding the demon possession of those who are stalking in that entirely unnatural environment. And then there's just lessons you need to learn about for your own life. There is nothing that you should be mimicking about anybody in the city of LA. All right, they are a troubled people, and this entire population is going to be facing an epic prosecution and exposure for what they are doing as a people and as a. All right, so it is currently 6:40 a.m. That is documentation. That is some spectacular documentation of stalking by a whole population while the light source is in alignment with me while I'm on the freeway. You can see it through the back windshield of my car, but yet it's supposed to at the same time remaining stationary outside of my living room window. And you can see it through the window of building 1816 when I'm on the back portion of the parking lot, but it's outside, physically positioned outside my living room window. Okay, understand how demonic, with regard to stupidity and impossibility, it's synonymous with demonic. Okay, it is currently again 6:41 a.m. This is P.O.C.